It's okay. We're enough.
Here we go. No intro today, guys. We are live, and I'm so excited to be with my friends Carrie and Johnny. And because we sort of had some similar things going on with our fitness goals and things that we want to continue on with in February. And since today's January 27th, it's like almost February, you guys.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard to believe. I sound like my mother, but it's like, where has this month gone? I don't know.
I don't know either.
For as bad as the weather's been and the crappy weather that we've all put up with, except maybe you, Christy. I know you've had a lot of rain, but this month has gone by unbelievably fast, which I'm glad. I'm going to get beyond this and get into springtime where we can get outside and do more.
I am so ready for spring, y'all. Yeah, I am just, I don't know. I've got cabin fever like really bad. And I mean, it's pouring down rain and I'm thinking me and my daughter are going to try to go get our brows threaded. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's painful, but you do look good. And I feel like I've got caterpillars over my eyes. So I am so ready to get beautified today.
That'll be nice. I've never done the brow threading. I don't think I ever will.
Just don't wait too long between times.
Yeah. Good for you. Okay, so Carrie, this is sort of on topic. I mean, it's topic adjacent, and I think just curious minds want to know. So you challenged yourself in January to eat breakfast every day.
Yes.
Which is something that you had not previously been doing?
No.
Is that right?
Okay. I've never been a breakfast person, ever.
Okay. And you've eaten a lot of sardines for breakfast, I've seen.
I would say about a third of the time I've had sardines, and part of that has been because of time constraints, just or not feeling like, fooling with something, or not knowing what I wanted. Like one day I had full fat Greek yogurt because I just wanted to continue the trend. Yeah. I didn't want to break to break it. So I decided to at least have something. And most mornings, to be honest, it's beef, bacon, burger patty, and egg. Okay. That's what it is most days.
So have you noticed any changes, benefits, or detriments, or do you think you're going to continue eating breakfast in February? Like, what's going on?
I think what I'm going to do in February is probably just eat when I'm hungry, because I have not noticed that overall I'm eating that much more. It's like if I eat it in the morning, then I just don't want that much in the afternoon. It's like so I try to make myself eat a few more bites than I want.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just haven't really noticed any true, like, oh, I'm just like starving, I'm hungrier, or I'm eating a whole lot more, or anything like that. I haven't noticed that. So I'm just a strange bird.
Yeah, so you don't have that. I know the answer already. I don't know about Johnny though, so maybe Johnny can also tell us, but you don't have that thing where in the evening you just kind of want to eat. You don't have that?
Once in a while I do. And if I do, I've got like beef jerky or something that I'll munch on. Like if I don't want like a whole meal, I have my beef jerky. By the way, if you haven't been to Buc-ee's, you need to go there.
We don't have Buc-ee's. Johnny's driving all over the place. He probably drives by a Buc-ee's frequently. No Buc-ee's in California.
Yeah, well, there's not one close to me either, but my friend James and I took a little road trip to East Tennessee, and there was this used bookstore that we wanted to go to. I love physical books. I mean, I read them on my Kindle or the Kindle app just for convenience sake, and because they don't take up that much space because they're electronic storage. And if I had all of my books in physical form, there wouldn't be any room for me. But I like physical books. And so we went and we hit up that Buc-ee's, and I mean, I bought like a pound of brisket, a pound of barbecue, and I bought 2 pounds of beef jerky. Nice. It was like I would do my meat shopping, or a lot of it, at Buc-ee's every week if we had one.
Well, the reason I asked about the whole breakfast thing is because it's topic adjacent because I know Carrie is working on gaining some weight, but like Dr. Berry says, you could gain fat or you could gain muscle. It's weight. I'm pretty sure Carrie wants to do the latter, right, Carrie? Of putting on some healthy muscle. And Johnny, you've been doing something similar. So why don't you tell us what you've been doing for your fitness as of, I don't know, the last few months, I think, right? A month, 2 months? How long have you been doing it?
Probably, I started at the beginning of December. I started with a push-up challenge. It kind of goes back to, you and I were on the Carnivore Roundtable last week, and we talked about the steps to getting from where we were, where I was anyway, to where I am now and where I want to go. And it started with getting my nutrition right. Doing things like push-ups and squats and lunges would have been impossible when I had all the inflammation in my body. So once I got my diet correct and I got the bad stuff out and the good stuff in, my biggest impediment to doing any kind of exercise or fitness stuff prior to getting my diet straight was joint pain. My knees hurt so bad. My right hip, I had my left hip replaced about 5 years ago. Had I known about the carnivore diet then, I probably would have avoided that because my surgeon wants to redo my right hip, but it stopped hurting when I got the carbs and the sugar and the crap out of my diet, if you'll pardon the expression. So now my knees don't hurt and my right hip doesn't hurt ever. I mean, I'm at the point, as you know, I'm almost 57. I'll be 57 on March 2nd. Nothing hurts ever. I never have pain, which, since I'm 39, 40 years old, I had some kind of pain every day. But my biggest thing was plantar fasciitis. And I'm going to do a video when I go back home because I'm out on the road now. So maybe in a couple of weeks when I go back home, I'm going to do a video on all the money I spent on appliances for my feet and all of the orthotics and the special shoes I ordered and the braces that held your feet up at night while you slept. I've spent probably close to $1,000 just trying to get some relief from this plantar fasciitis. I've been to the doctor about it. Nothing helped. Nothing gave me any relief except for turmeric. I started taking 2 turmeric tablets pills every morning about a year ago, and that did give me a little bit of relief, which I thought was a godsend. But now that I've gone to this way of eating and I got rid of all that and I started feeling better and I've lost like 67 pounds, the next progression was do something with all this energy and this new body that I have, this pain-free body. So I started doing some walking. I've done a couple of 5Ks and I really enjoyed that. But I wanted to start looking at building muscle. I watched a video with Coach Bronson, a good friend of ours, and he talked about the importance of lean muscle as far as metabolic health and hormonal health and lymphatic system health. I mean, it's amazing what adding muscle to your body can fix that you would think muscle would have nothing to do with. So I said, well, I like to do push-ups. I'm not to where I can go to a gym because I'm in an 18-wheeler and I usually don't fit in the parking lot at Planet Fitness. So I had to come up with something that I could do with my body weight that would be, cost-effective, easy, time-friendly, because I don't have a lot of time. I work, 13, 14 hours a day. And so push-ups just seemed like a natural thing. So I started doing push-ups. And when I started, I literally, and my wife laughed at me, I literally did 1 push-up and I was out of breath. It was the hardest thing I think I'd ever done in my life, but I was determined to get that 1. Fast forward, I started doing, then I got 2, and then I did 4, and then I did 5, and I just kept doing them a couple of times a day, every day. Even when I was working at Lowe's, I'd go into the break room on my break, and I would just try to do as many push-ups as I could right in front of all the other employees. I recorded myself doing it, put it on my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to now, and, on New Year's Day, I did 400 push-ups, and I walked 12 and a half miles. And I did lunges, and I just, you and I have been talking, Christy, for a couple of months about doing this jump rope thing. So I got my jump rope out and I worked on that. Quite a difference. Now, tying it back to what you're asking me about and what I think what Carrie's trying to do is add muscle. Yes. My shoulders right here and my chest in the mirror it looks like somebody else's body. When I take my shirt off in the mirror, I cannot believe the muscle that I've gained. My shoulders are getting round and big, and my chest muscles I can flex. And you can see the chest muscles there. Even when I was 20 years old, that was not the case. My shoulders were, they were tiny. They looked like they didn't belong on this 6'1" frame. And all that is filled in, and my calf muscles and my glutes and my quads, everything is getting bigger as I'm doing all this exercise and sprints and lunges and all. And as good as I felt going from the standard American diet to actually, because I went full carnivore, I just overnight, this standard American diet on June 30th, carnivore on July 1st. And of course, once I got past the keto flu and some of the stomach issues, I started feeling amazing. Well, now that I've added this resistance training and the sprints and some of the other stuff, I feel like I've gained that much again. And now that I can see muscle in my body, which, I'll be 60 years old in 3 years. So I'm not trying to be on the cover of Men's Health magazine. I just want to be functionally strong. If I fall, because I'm out here walking on ice and snow, I'm climbing in and out of my trailer, I'm getting in and out of the high steps to get in the truck. First, I don't want to fall. I want to be more stable. And two, if I do fall, I don't want to break. My wife had a cousin in November, 71 years old, fell, broke his hip, and died. My brother has a friend of his father recently fell, broke his hip, and died at 70. I mean, I'm only 13 years removed from being 70.
Right.
So I just want to really put on as much skeletal muscle, functional skeletal muscle as I can, so that as I go into my 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I can live independently and feel strong and not fall, help my wife, help people move stuff if they need, the neighbors need help moving a couch. I can be the guy they can come to and go help them. So adding muscle has just got more benefits than we have time today to list. But it's really nice that I can do it basically free of charge just by doing some push-ups,
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a couple conversations with Coach Bronson, the one you spoke about, and I interviewed him on my channel, I don't know, a few weeks before that. But we talked about muscle like being the organ of longevity. And like, if you don't build muscle, like functional muscle now, like put it in the bank for later, it's going to be a problem. And more specifically for women, and most specifically for perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. Right. And so I thought, to the point of this live stream, I want to talk about kind of what I've been doing and what I'm gonna continue doing. And I want you guys to join in. I want all three of us to join in together, and hopefully if anyone's watching and wants to join us in kind of a new fun challenge that we're doing, because one of the things for me is I will tend to get bored. I don't even have ADHD. But if I'm doing the same thing, and I know Coach Bronson says embrace the suck. Okay, Coach Bronson, I heard you. I'm trying to embrace the suck. He said that about working out, like it may be boring, just embrace it, right? But even so, I do like to change things up from time to time. And so I've started, and I've kind of waited to some extent, but I've done some with this new piece of equipment that I got. And it is, you guys, this jump rope right here. And so I've started incorporating that. So I see, A1 Meat Eater Kid is here. I know that they are a sprinter. I'm a sprinter as well. I did 8 sprints this morning. Sometimes even in sunny Southern California, it's raining. We had 3 days in a row of rain. And I'll sprint in some cold weather. I'll even sprint in the fog, but if it's raining, no.
Right.
So I've been doing jump rope sprints, like on the days when I'm not going outside to run down the street. And so, what that looks like is I have it's a random timer generator app. And you can set it for like a minimum number and then a maximum number of seconds. And when you hit the start button, it sets a timer for a random number of seconds within the range that you set. And so I'll set it, and then I'll just start jump roping as fast as I can until I hear the buzzer go off. And so I'll do like 8 of those if it's raining or something like that, and I can't get outside. It brings me back to my childhood. It's pretty fun. So, Carrie, have you started jump roping yet? I know you said you were interested.
I am, and I have not started. I need to get a jump rope.
Okay.
I thought I had one, and it's probably hanging out in the storeroom next to that other hula hoop
next
that I can't get
you can't reach.
The one that I can't reach, but I've still got my weighted hula hoop over here, and I've got my dumbbells over there. So I've been doing those things in between. And I find I'm like Johnny, if I can fit it into my regular day, I'm just much more likely to do it. Yes. It's like, my very first thing is feed the cat, but then I meditate. And then after that, I'll take my morning walk. And of course, lately, to be honest, I would get to the like to the yard and back because either it was too icy or raining or something. So I would just come back in here, get that hula hoop out, do that, run up and down my stairs. I live in a little 2-story townhouse. So run up and down my stairs a few times, get that in. And, just to get my blood pumping. And then just throughout the day, just take a couple of minutes and, do some curls or do the hula hoop, do some planks, things like that, body weight exercises, squats, things like that. So I've debated about joining a gym. My daughter actually has a personal trainer and she goes to the gym and she loves it. She does well with it. I just don't know. She gets up early in the morning and goes. And to be honest, I know I won't go after work. I just know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, not happening.
It's just not.
For me either. It ain't happening.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do it in the morning. And that's kind of why I put this comment up. So saying that my sprints usually take 15 minutes a day. This is part of the reason I love sprinting, because I've seen so much muscle gain in my legs, especially, but also in my arms too. And it doesn't take a long time, and it's like one thing, and it's like you go out, you do it, and it's done. So I've really enjoyed sprinting. But you talked about your dumbbells, Carrie, and I've pulled those back out again, and I've been trying to do those a little bit more intentionally because Coach Bronson, right? He'll get you.
I know.
And he will get you going.
He will.
Very motivating, and kind of gives you the why and kind of makes it not seem so difficult. Ooh.
So these are the ones that I'm sending you. My daughter got us each a pack. And so I'm going to send those along with the tallow soap, 2 bars.
It's so good.
2 full-size bars of the tallow soap. So that is going to be, I promise, it's all. I know I've had this stuff for like 3 weeks and
no worries. I'll appreciate it when I get it. Until then, I have my dumbbells. I'm going to keep doing it. Then when I get those are resistance bands, by the way, Johnny, if you don't know, which I do think you're using too. Is that right? There we go. Yep. Look at that. He's got them.
Oh, nice.
I got these at, I don't know if you have them out there, Christy, but I know, Carrie, you probably got these in Tennessee, Academy Sports.
Yes.
So the handles are sold separately. So the handles just clip on with like carabiners, and then the resistance bands are color coded for weight. These are 40 pounds, and then I've got one that's like 60 pounds. And I mean, you can get, I think they go 10, 15, 20. So there's a pretty good selection you can get. And of course, the handle's universal. So you just get one set of handles, and then you buy the bands, and then they just clip on with carabiners. And it's amazing how much burn you can feel using resistance bands. The thought process is you need to go to a gym, pay the gym fee, and lift the free weights or do the machines. But there are so many options. Like me, I'm limited to where I can go because of the vehicle that I drive. So I have to find ways. And these things, I think the handles were $20 and the bands a piece are $18 to $20, $24. So I bought one, and then I saved up my money, and I bought a second one. Then I saved up some more money. So you can kind of build it as you go. It doesn't take a lot of money. And of course, I've got my jump rope here, and I enjoy jumping the rope because it gets your heart rate up. It's like sprints, and I'm like Christy, I'm probably not going to sprint when it's raining, because if I tumble and break my arm, who's going to drive this 18-wheeler? So I have to be really careful with that. But I can do the jump ropes half the time. Well, not half the time, but part of the time when I'm pulling trailers, I'll have an empty one, because you take an empty trailer somewhere and you drop it off so they can load it. Then you grab a loaded trailer and you leave with that. So sometimes the trailer is empty. Well, I have to sweep the trailers out, because if you haul food in a trailer, it has to be swept out to be inspected. That's part of the FDA rules. So when I'm back there sweeping the trailer out, I just throw my jump rope in there, and I have a perfect place to get out of the wind, get out of the sight of everybody else. And I can stay back there, and I can put my camera up and record me doing some jump ropes and throw it on my YouTube channel. But it's just the neatest thing. And, it's like a good second option when you can't get out and do the sprints. I think sprints are probably superior to this because of the muscle, because you're having to run against resistance. But this is awesome. So I guess my point being, it really doesn't take a whole lot of money, time, effort, creativity. I mean, it does take creativity, but you can find things that you can do that don't cost any money and will kind of fit in anybody's lifestyle. You can,
Mhm.
we've all made excuses like John Collis said last Sunday. So, we didn't get fat by accident. There was decisions we made or didn't make that led us to where we were. And so just changing one decision. Yes, I'm going to get a jump rope. They're $9 at Walmart, whatever it was, $8. And you can do it inside your house. If I can't do it in my truck because there's not enough room in here, but I can get in the trailer and do it, or I can get beside the truck when the weather's decent and do it. So it's a thing where I'm hoping that in this space, in this community, we've talked ad nauseum. All of us have. I've been watching this stuff for a year now, and I've had my own channel. And we just talk about the ribeyes and the New York strip and all that stuff. And that's foundational. I get it. We need to really focus on nutrition. But I feel like in this live stream here, plus the one last Sunday, it's really moving us in the direction of going to the next level. A lot of us in this space have got the nutrition down. We understand the science of the nutrition, but that's only half of the equation. We got to start putting some movement in it. I love Carrie. I want to see you on the video, or maybe on Instagram, do the hula hoop. I'd love to see that, because I tried the hula hoop not too long ago in Walmart.
Oh,
and
it's not so easy, is it?
It's not. It's hard. I could not. When I was a kid, I could do it. It seemed like forever, and now I couldn't even do it for 30 seconds. So I want Carrie to teach me how to do it.
Okay, I'll do that. I've got a couple of video or little shorts on my channel of doing the weighted hula hoop.
Okay, I'll have to go back and check that out. I'll watch you on
But
Instagram.
I'll definitely post something. And by the way, something you said a minute ago, your birthday is March 2nd.
Right.
Mine is the 1st.
Of 66 or 67.
Yep. 3166
cool.
here.
3267. So you got me by a little bit, but I'm catching you quick as I can.
I don't think you want to catch up. You don't want to be any older than you have to be. But I think age is a lot of it's mental.
Right.
I do believe that. I think, Johnny, what you were saying, and Christy too, about keeping movement, being engaged, doing something physical is very, very important. Also, playing is very important. And I used to be too much of a worker for, and I do work hard when I'm at work, or when I'm supposed to be working. However, I make time to play now.
Yeah.
I make time, for example, for my YouTube channel. I make time for designing shirts. I make time to go to concerts and shows. I spend time with my kids. I'm not just immersed in work. And I really think that looking at yourself as a whole person and not just a diet that's just key. And that's made a huge difference in my life to do that.
I'm glad you said that, because I can't believe, looking back now, what a recluse I had become. I'd go to work and that was it. I'd go to work, I'd go home, get on the couch, grab the remote, watch YouTube or watch TV or whatever. And that was the extent of it. And, I don't know if it's because getting the inflammation out because of the diet, or maybe having more, what's the hormone, when it makes you feel good, you exercise. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll think of it in a second. So I'm so excited now. My wife and I, after I got on the diet for a little while and started feeling better, we ended up going to the mountains. My wife wanted to see the leaves changing in the mountains. We live in North Carolina, so we had to drive a little bit. We went up into Virginia, and we actually got out and kind of went hiking up in the mountains, and it was a blast. Dopamine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dopamine. So I'm so excited about springtime coming. We were talking before we went online, all of us, about the weather, and I'm so excited for springtime now that we're beyond winter. We'll be getting beyond winter. I have this new body. I have this new found happiness and desire to do things.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to sit at home ever again.
Oh, there we go. I think it caught up with you. You froze there for a second, and then all of a sudden you went really fast and then caught up to yourself. Yeah, so A1 Meat Eater Kid is saying, I can motivate myself much better now when I eat clean carnivore. My mind is better. Yes, it was around September after I had been carnivore since June. It was like, I have all this energy. What the heck am I going to do with it? Like, I need to do something. That's when I started sprinting. And although it hasn't been, like now I'm really doing more of like a program, right? I've got 2 leg days a week with rest in between with upper body day. Like I'm trying to be very like regimented about it, but then still adding in the sprinting and then adding in the jump rope for a little bit of fun. Because to me, those are a little more fun. Whereas the weights are like, all right, I'm bust out these 3 sets. I'm gonna be miserable while I'm doing it, but I'm gonna do it because it's good for me. Dang it. But then I get to go outside and run or, take my jump rope out, or I haven't done hula hoop in a while, but that's fun too. So pull something like that out too at the end. But yeah, it's like, it is easier to motivate myself now because I feel like because of my diet, like I probably am likely to put on muscle, right? Because of just all the protein I'm eating.
Right.
I think I'm starting to see maybe some changes, a little bit in my upper body because I've been focusing on that more, which, normally because I'm a pear-shaped person, I will tend to focus because the lower body is what I want to make more tone and smaller. And so, yeah, I would tend to focus there. But I've been equally focusing on my upper body and I think starting to see some changes. I've definitely been able to increase my weight and increase my reps, with every time that I'm working out. And so that in itself is motivating too, because like I'm tracking all of that, like on a little, not a spreadsheet, but just like a table that I made, so I remember mostly, but then it's cool to go back and look, okay, on day 1, this is what I'm doing. And now I'm like, this is day 1 of week 4. So I'm in my 4th week. Wow. Now I'm doing this, it's pretty cool to see yourself getting stronger, even if, it's still maybe too early to see it in the mirror. Sure. Although maybe I'm starting to see some things in the mirror. I don't know. But yeah, it's cool to see on paper, like, wow, I used to do this and now I can do this,
I watched a video that Kelly Hogan put out probably about a month ago. It was one of her more recent videos. And she talked about the fact that she actually gained weight when she first started this. And her, her transformation, we all see, if you know Kelly Hogan, My Zero Carb Life is her channel. She, her transformation is phenomenal, but that transformation took 2 years. Actually, she said between 2.5 and 3 years to get from the very beginning of the before to where she's at right now. And there were times where her weight would go back up. She just trusted the process. You have to give your body at a cellular level time to catch up with what you're doing. You're throwing something at your body that for 45 or 50 years, however long you've been alive, you've not really done before. So your body's got to make a lot of changes at the cellular level to catch up to where you are. And it'll get there. And she said in this video that she wished she would have talked about this more, about some of the challenges and how long she had to stick to the process, even though it was playing mind games with her, because she wasn't seeing what you would think you would see. But eventually she got to where she's at now. And if you guys, are you familiar with Kelly Hogan? She is.
Oh, yeah, she looks fantastic. But I appreciate you saying that because I'm in the midst of what I hope is that. Like, I hope what I'm experiencing right now is that.
Right.
And what you said about mind games is 100% accurate because I went like keto to lose weight. I did lose weight. I continued on with carnivore. I lost a little more weight and that basically stopped in September. Starting with October, I've done nothing but gain weight since then. So I sort of from October to I guess December, I had just kind of slowly gained, well, I don't know how slow it is, but 13 pounds back of like the 20 that I had lost, which is what prompted me to talk to Coach Bronson and maybe get a little more intentional. Cause it's like, all right, well, you don't know, right? When you're in the middle of it, which I am right now, you don't know, okay, is my body trying to heal all those years of metabolic damage and who knows what other damage I did to it by doing all the binging and restricting, plus all the junk food, that I was doing or what, you don't know. Or like, is this really something that, I need to curtail? I don't know because I'm not at Kelly Hogan's point in Kelly Hogan's journey. You know what I'm saying? I can only hope that that's what's happening. My body isn't letting me know. And then I go and I get some advice from a well-respected professional and I follow it. And the very first thing that happens is I gain 3 pounds the first week and 3 pounds the next week. Boom, boom, 6 pounds.
But I wonder if some of that isn't muscle though, because you've been doing the sprints and you've been doing a lot of physical things.
Yeah. So according to my scale, it isn't, and I have put on inches. So people will ask me that, are you taking measurements? Yes, I put 2 inches onto my hips. And then I'm using my scale, and everything was like in September when I finished that month of like that was my first month sprinting. So I was good about taking like scale, the scale that does like the body fat and all of that stuff. Yeah, everything was green, like green. And now like my waist to hip ratio is back to yellow, and it's because my hips have gotten bigger again, because that's where I'm going to gain it. And my body fat percentage has gone back to yellow. So who knows how accurate those things are. I've been exercising regularly since September. It hasn't always been the same. Carrie, you know, we did hula hoops, and then I did planks for a month. I did push-ups for a month. And I was doing those challenges like they were like every day I would do that exercise. And then now I'm working out 4 days a week with 3 rest days. But like on the rest days, that doesn't just mean I'm a slug on my couch. It means probably on that day at school, I'm going to do 20 to 30 minutes of like yoga, maybe some jumping jacks, whatever, with my students, like for PE. And so I'll do that on and flexibility, right? So I'll do that on those days. So it's been like a variety of fitness things, but at any rate, yeah, I was pretty, like, I started vlogging about it when, so like what Johnny was saying, like how Kelly wishes she would have talked about it. I mean, I'm only hoping that I'm going in the right direction and that maybe talking about it through this process is going to help somebody else. I hope I come out the other side in a similar fashion to Kelly. But I am talking about it all along the way, because it isn't like, oh, I gained 2 inches in my hips. Like everyone else is like, I lost 100 pounds. I'm like, yeah, I lost 20. And then I gained back 19 and 2 inches in my hips and some body fat. So what the heck? I mean, mentally, I feel great, right? Like all the mental benefits, the sleep, all of that is still there, which for sure keeps me in it. I don't look at myself in the mirror and go, ew, like the way that I used to, you know, but I'm just not happy with those numbers, you know, looking back at yellow and all of that, you know, in those ranges. But you know, I'm going to keep going. And this last week I did change up my electrolytes. I dialed them back a little bit, and a couple pounds came off. So I was probably retaining some fluid, you know, but it's a week by week thing right now, but it is a little bit of a messes with your mind, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Like my weight in September, I was like totally happy. I was doing great. And then it was like, it just sort of slowly crept on. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, man, I've kind of put on 13 pounds. What am I going to do about this? And then the very first thing I try, oh, you didn't like 13? Have 6 more.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't.
Like, that's what you get.
No, yeah, I'll show you. My body's like, I'll show you to like really change it up. And, you know, so all I can do is stay consistent and just do the best I can do. And I'm going to just keep going. So.
You have to remember, you're taxing your body in ways that you probably have never done or haven't done in years and years.
Oh, not since high school. And even when I played volleyball, we didn't do weight training for volleyball. Right. Like we did a lot of cardio, but they didn't have the girls like lifting for that. So yeah, for sure, I've never done this.
I would say try to be as consistent as you can. Give it about 6 weeks and see what happens. As well as, I think we had this discussion several weeks ago on one of the live streams I was on, about weight gain or weight loss in the colder, shorter day months. I think.
Oh, yeah.
If you go back 10,000, 20,000 years, you know, we didn't have all the air conditioning, the heat, and the modern things. And so your body would not give up excess fat during the winter. It couldn't afford to, because food was more scarce. Our bodies need to stay at around 98.6 all the time. Well, for your body to stay at 98.6 when you're out in 30-degree weather, you have to have a lot of metabolism. Metabolism is just your body making heat. When you shiver, that's your body making heat. So your body's not going to voluntarily give up stored fat when it knows it could need it. And how does your body know that? I think it's because the days get shorter and shorter. And that's the key. The sun and the moon cycles has a lot to do with our metabolism and our brain and our psyche, right? So I think once we get into spring, the days begin getting longer, the days get warmer. I think for all of us, it may be a little easier to shed those pounds in a more appropriate time from a historical standpoint. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I hope that's true. And like I said, I'm just going to keep pressing forward. I also had the advice from a couple people to like keep because the one thing I did change on my food was I upped my protein. Carrie, try not to fall off your chair, but I started eating a can of salmon every day. You thought I was going to say sardines, but no.
I thought you were going to say sardines, but okay, salmon is good.
But salmon is probably just as shocking because we are friends and you know me and my seafood, and I do not like seafood. But what I'm saying is I added a can of salmon for the intent of upping my protein without upping my fat any further. It's not like a huge volume of food is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did get keep the protein, what you've been doing, and maybe lower the fat. And I'm like, I've taken out heavy cream. I don't do that anymore. I rarely use butter except like to cook some eggs in, because you kind of need something so the eggs don't stick. It's very rare anymore that I'll put butter on my steak because my steak's usually a ribeye. So it's like the next fat to go is going to be I'm going to have to give up my ribeyes. Are you serious? I don't think I'm ready to do that. Go to a leaner cut of beef just to like lower my fat. That makes me sad.
Remember the benefits of fat. There's an awful lot of vitamins and minerals stored inside that fat. So no, I wouldn't go too much on the fat. Just give it more time. I think, we live in a microwave society. I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. You want to see the results right now, but you didn't get to where you were, metabolically in 3 or 4 months. You're not going to fix all that in 3 or 4 months. I went full carnivore in July and had a lot of amazing results, but I still have a spare tire around the middle. I still have things, and I'm working hard, but I know that I spent 55 years being really, really unhealthy. So my liver, my kidneys, the inside of my vasculature, all that's, it's got to heal, because what they say, seed oils take around 600 days to get out of your body. How many orders of French fries did I eat all those years cooked in seed oil? And so that has got to work its way out, but it's not going to happen like that, like we wish it would. But go back and look a year from now, watch this video a year from now. I think you'll be really impressed if you just stay consistent with what you're doing. That's my
And that's kind of what I've been. Yeah, that's like my thing. That's like my little mantra. Like, just be consistent, just keep going. Just, so I haven't like missed a workout. I've done all the things. I'm feeling good about that. And I'm just going to keep talking about it because Pursuit of Bliss is saying the same thing. So the weight gain can come from so many different things. I gained weight. So see, these people are coming out of the woodwork. Susan too has been telling me, she's been commenting on my vlogs and just like, it feels so good to, again, put yourself out there. You're going to find that you're not alone. So anyways, I gained weight, lots of weight that I had previously lost. Stress and still under eating protein and in general was a huge part of it for me. So I've definitely upped my protein. I think my protein grams yesterday was around 160 grams of protein for yesterday. Yeah. So I've upped my protein from like it, because when I first started tracking, because I hadn't tracked anything since my keto days when I was tracking those 20 carbs, and so Coach Bronson had recommended some things, some different things to track with that. And so like the first day when I tracked it, just see, okay, well, this is what I eat. Let's find out how much protein it is. It was like right around 100 grams, maybe just under, like in the 90s. And so, yeah, I've been like upping it. So my protein is now usually between like 160 is a high day for me, but like between 120 and 160. So yeah, I've been like upping that protein, and I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Hopefully I'm going to put on some muscle. I really hope my scale is after next week, going to show some gains in the muscle department. Yeah, this is the problem. Carnivore. Hi, John. Nice to see you. You're not the problem, John, but the advice that comes from both angles, like the exact opposite. So yes, I've heard this too. Weight gain can come from not eating enough fat. Yep. I forget somebody else on YouTube say that. Just the other day, whereas other people are saying keep the protein high and not low fat, but just cut the fat a little bit and you'll start seeing the weight come off. Other people are saying maybe you're not eating enough fat. If you eat more fat, you'll feel satiated, your volume of food will come down, and you'll take the weight off. So you just hear advice, coming from both sides, and it's really hard to give something a try, sit with it for long enough to see if that's what's going to work for you. That's the hard part, because to Johnny's point, yes, I'm doing this and I want to see results right now. I don't want to wait.
Yeah, and it does take time. And I know one thing, I'm not the most patient person in the world. I'm more patient now than I used to be. But, and like you said, it is this microwave culture. Well, now there's, the Instapots and everything else. So everything is quick. And our bodies are all different too. And so, like, for example, there's, Christy and then me. I mean, like, I'm this beanpole that's been a beanpole most of my life. And most people can't really relate to being a beanpole. But we're all different, and it takes tweaking and doing those N=1 experiments to just find out what works. And it is very helpful when people post. So I'm glad you're posting that, Christy, because then other people, when they come along, if they do a search or whatever, they're going to find, and they'll see what happened with you. And who knows, maybe the reducing the fat and increasing the protein will work, or maybe it won't, and you end up having to reduce the protein and increase the fat. But either way, it'll be helpful, because somebody else will then say, oh, okay, but it took her 6 months to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll give them hope,
Right.
Which is, so many people right now don't have that. And so that's very important. And it's just helpful to see what other people have done to tweak or to experiment on themselves. And I mean, that's like how, like, Nick Norowitz, he experiments on himself all the time. And so I thought about trying the Oreo thing, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to eat Oreos.
Well,
I watched that video last night.
You and I could lower our LDL, Carrie, if we did that.
I know, we could do it just before we go to the doctor, and then eat them again until the next time, until the next year. But I'm not doing it.
We're both really mass hyperresponders, if anyone out there watching that didn't know. And so what happens with us is our glycogen stores are depleted because we are so lean. We don't have that extra glycogen in our livers. And so our body starts relying more on the transport of fat and moving that cholesterol around the body. And then we get this really awesome looking HDL and really awesome triglycerides. And then our LDL skyrockets as a result of that. But if we put the glycogen back in, it doesn't matter the form of glycogen. It could be Oreos, right? It could be a banana. It could be a sweet potato, whatever. Our body's going to go, oh, now we have glycogen, so there's no need for that LDL kind of transport anymore. And the LDL will just drastically drop quickly until we use that glycogen up again, and then it ramps back up the other way. So, yeah, there's ways to do it. I guess if I didn't want to fire my doctor, I could do that and go get another blood test. She'd be happy.
Well, just ask your doctor, Christy. Ask your doctor to write you a prescription for a sleeve of Oreos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my
prescription strength Oreos.
I think a lot of people would want that prescription.
Yeah.
Me included.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, I think next month we're all three going to be jump roping. I think I'm going to continue on with my jump rope sprints, but I've been doing it sort of, I don't know, randomly. But I think for the month of February, I'd like to sprint my normal running sprints 3 days a week, but then do jump rope sprints 3 days a week and take a day off from sprints. And then if it's raining, then I'll do an extra jump rope sprint instead, because I'm not going to go outside and I don't want to fall and break my arm either. So don't want that to happen.
No.
How are you guys planning on incorporating the jump rope?
I'm just going to have it right in here in my office, and just whenever I have a minute, just do it. And I love jump roping, and I had a jump rope, and like I said, I have no clue as to what happened to it. One of the kids could have done something. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Well,
my
they're not very
grandson.
expensive, like Johnny said.
Yeah,
You know, I think
that's
mine
right.
was $10 on Amazon, and there's cheaper ones, but mine is like the right color for my channel. As you can
I know,
see,
that's awesome.
I had to
Your
do
color
it. I had to
coordination.
do it. I had to pay the extra $3 or whatever.
Oh, that's all right. Live a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so that's what I'm
I'll
going to
just
do.
get out
Is
the
just
side my. I'm sorry, Carrie. I'll just
no,
get
it's
out the
okay.
side my my truck when I stop doing my push-ups because I just enjoy the push-ups. It's become almost a habit now,
Yeah.
and I feel so good. My upper body strength and all from doing that. And then I'll just get up from my push-ups and jump the rope. And what I'm hoping is that other truck drivers will see what I'm doing and maybe get curious, you know. And I'm actually fixing to start a second YouTube channel geared directly towards the trucking community because Coach Bronson and I have been working on some stuff kind of in the background. He did some research and found out that the average lifespan for a long haul trucker in America is 61 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And, you know, as I go to truck stops and different shippers and receivers and rest areas and stuff, you look around and the vast majority of truck drivers are metabolically screaming sick. You know, I was in our terminal in Charlotte yesterday and I just kind of looked around at all the drivers that were in there. And I don't think there was a single one under 350 pounds. And, you know, we sit, I mean, when I drive, we're allowed to drive 11 hours a day. We're allowed to work 14 hours a day. And, you know, when stuff's got to get from one side of the country to the other, and they're paying you to do it, you tend to drive 11 hours, sleep, get up, drive 11 hours. Well, when you sit in that seated position, and, you know, if you're driving out in the Midwest, there's not much to look at. It's easy to have something to snack on. And you see drivers with these big, huge, it was almost like a gallon cup. You know, we thought the Big Gulp was big. These things are huge. And they go into the truck stop, or whatever, and they fill it up with soda.
Ooh.
And then they get a second one and fill it up with soda. So when that's when it runs out, they can just pour it in there. And so working on that, going to build another channel directly towards that. But yeah, so I'll just do my jump rope. I'm working on lunges too. I really struggle. Well, before I started this, I couldn't get off the ground at all, but I can get up really well from a lunge when I do go back with my right knee down. But when I go with my left knee down, I'm still holding up. So I'm going to work on those two, you know, 10 minutes 3 times a day or 10 minutes 4 times a day workout. So, and of course I'll be posting that on, but yeah, I do enjoy it. Carrie said a while ago, we stopped playing. Well, jump rope to me kind of feels like playing like when I was a kid. It really takes me back to when I was a 10-year-old. So that it's the double benefit, the exercise, the movement, and the endorphins for you know, doing something that reminds me of when I was a kid. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. I feel the same way. And it just kind of gives me a little bit of variety too, which keeps me, you know, keeps me going. But I've been doing lunges too. They're one of my favorites. And yeah, I think my lunges, I'm up to like 12 pounds per hand now. So 24 pounds. I'm like happy with that. And I'm increasing my reps every time. But yeah, I've been doing lunges, squats, and deadlifts, plus my sprints on my leg days. And so I don't know if you guys are doing, are you doing any squats or deadlifts or anything like that? Either one of you guys?
Squats, I have limited mobility. I have limited mobility, so I can only squat so far, but I need to work on that. It's Coach Brunson.
Look who's here.
Hey.
Coach Brunson, your ears must have been burning because I was talking about you. Hi, Coach. Welcome. Okay, sorry, John. It was just he said boo, and I was like, I had to put it up.
Go ahead, Carrie. Tell us about. Do you do squats or lunges? Are you doing any of that?
I do squats, but mostly it's like body weight exercises, like, you know, just using my own weight. I have been, when I think about it, I will use the dumbbells that I've got for that. But most of the exercises right now that I'm doing are just body weight exercises. So I do planks. What I'm consistent with the most is planks. I tried to work in push-ups, and you would think that if I do planks but for some reason I don't enjoy push-ups, but I guess nobody really, well, Johnny enjoys them now.
He enjoys
So I am, and you know, when I was
More
taking
than
Wado karate, I actually used to do like lots of push-ups. I mean, tons of them, push-ups, sit-ups, all that stuff. So I know I can do them. I just need to make myself do them. So most of the exercises I do though are like body weight exercises.
Yeah.
And I do also have, like, I get these big boxes of kitty litter and they have a handle and they're like 19 pounds a piece.
Ooh.
And so I'll get those and like carry them up and down the stairs in both hands.
Sure. That's
So
awesome.
that's a good,
awesome.
that's a, one thing that I've incorporated. And I can't remember, somebody had said that they filled jugs of, like milk jugs with water, and then they would use that. So I was like, well, I can use kitty litter, the kitty litter, because boy, that stuff is heavy.
It's heavy.
So
Use what you got. Use what you
Yep.
got. I'm gonna have to do something when I'm about to up the weight again, Coach Brunson. I hope you're listening. I'm about to up the weight again on my deadlifts, and I only have 2 more. Like each of the Carrie knows because she has the same dumbbells as me. They go in 3-pound increments, and I only have 2 more. So I'm at 18 pounds per hand. I'm about to go up to 21. After 24, like I'm out of weight.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to, I don't know, buy something new or figure something out for those deadlifts at that point. So I really enjoy deadlifts. The lunges I like okay. The squats I hate, but I do them. I'm doing push-ups as well, but I'm not doing them all the way down on the floor. I have like a really low, like a coffee table. So I don't know how tall those are, maybe 24 inches. And I'm doing those. So I'm up to where I can do like 3 sets of 12. Push-ups are very difficult for me. Like I don't enjoy them, and they're not like with the upper body strength. It's like they're very difficult, but I'm doing them. And then when I get to where I'm getting too many on that table, I'm gonna like then drop it down to the floor. And see what I can do. But yeah, the push-ups are not as fun. I like the bicep curls that I'm doing, the shoulder presses, the flies. I like all of that stuff. So I mean, mostly the different types of exercises I've chosen are I enjoy. But yeah, there's something about deadlifts that I really like. If you guys haven't tried them, try them, Carrie. You have the dumbbells.
Yeah, I do. I'll try the deadlifts.
Yeah.
I'll do those.
And I
Well,
could
I
do
don't
those
know
with
if-
my resistance band.
You can or you can't? Wait, what'd you say?
I can. So I can take my resistance band and kind of double under my feet and lean over, and then I have the 50-pound one and just grab the handles, and you know what I'm saying? I could kind of make a mop. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Yes. I was wondering when you first showed those resistance bands, like, because this is how much I like deadlifts. When you first showed them at the beginning of the stream, I was like, I wonder how you could do deadlifts with those. So yeah,
Just-
that's good to know.
Yeah, I could just like take the middle part and run it together. So where like I'm standing like right here and right here. So that would be, I'd have to bend over and then try to deadlift with my weight. They're not going to come up from under my feet. You know what I'm saying? Especially with shoes on. And that would give me that resistance to deadlift against. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Now I want to try that when Carrie sends me those resistance bands, I'm going to try that out. Coach is saying we enjoy things we're good at. Yeah, true story.
That is true.
Get good at more things and more things become fun. Okay. See, I told you, Carrie, do you see what I'm up against here? Coach,
There are no excuses for us, Christy.
Yeah. Coach, what I was saying earlier about you was that I spoke with you and you were super like motivating, and also you made it seem doable. And so here I am doing it. And see this, and then here it is, Carrie. You get this stuff and then you just feel like, all right, let's go. It's
Yep. And by the way, I downloaded his book on my Kindle too, and it is a really good, fabulous.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it now. So, Pursuit of Bliss is saying you can add additional resistance along with the weight, Christy. Yes, I bet that if my dumbbells go up to 24 pounds, I bet I could combine, because it would be easy to hold the resistance bands. Like I bet I could keep the dumbbells in my hands and the resistance bands to add more resistance.
Yep.
I bet I could do that.
Yeah, you probably could work out the logistics of that.
I mean, realistically, it's going to be a while. I still got to add the 3 pounds and then the other 3 pounds. We're talking a few weeks down the road, but I got to think ahead so that when I get to that point, I'm not, stuck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh, Pursuit of Bliss is agreeing. Yep, you can. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I've never tried resistance bands. The ones that Carrie's sending me, those will be my first ones that I will have had the chance to try out.
I had some for years that I had used when I had physical therapy, and there were 3 different colored ones, and I don't remember the weights associated with them now, but like I had to work my way up from one, like one was yellow, one was blue, I think one was red or something. But anyway, I had to start with one and then work up to the next one and then to the next one. And I used those things for a long time until I wore them out. So,
yeah, well, good for you. That's awesome.
But I haven't used them in years. Hi, Karen.
Karen saying hello. She's one of the ones that's been watching my vlog about my recent experience, and she's having a similar experience. So we're like supporting each other. So hi, Karen. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, I watched your vlog. I watched your vlog from a couple days ago when you talked about that. And how the 3-pound increments. So I watched that. That was really good.
I'm sorry, you broke up there. I heard you say that you watched my vlog, and then you watched it and it was good. But what did you say in between there?
Where you showed how the positions go on there, how they worked. You showed that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The weights. Yes, those weights. So Carrie has the same weights. I thought she was going to return them for a minute. She was pretty mad. I talked her into them.
Look, my patient, like I said, I've never been the most patient person on the planet, and I'm actually more patient, but I know myself. If I have to fiddle with something too much, or I don't know, it's sort of like James Clear and BJ Fogg, in Tiny Habits and Atomic Habits. They talk about the more difficult it is to do something, the less likely you are to do it. I mean, in terms of like things you might have to do first to get there. So like when you incorporate a habit, for example, you incorporate it along with something you already do, and you just kind of slide into it. And so for me, it's just like, if I have to fiddle and fool with something too much, I'm just not going to do it. But I have worked with those weights, and now I can smoothly slide the little, I don't know what you'd call it, but
a fork looking thing.
Yeah, but I can slide it in between a whole lot easier. I've mastered the motion of doing it. But boy, when I was first doing it, I was just like, I don't know. I couldn't get it to line up, and I was just like the fork could be like up one weight, and then and then I couldn't, and I was like, oh crap, what's on that one, but it's on the one below it, and I was fiddling with it, and I just got. I was like a little 2-year-old. I threw a tantrum.
The nice part is the storage. So they just take up the space of one set of dumbbells, but you have so much flexibility, because you go from like 3 pounds up to 24 just with the one set, which is what I like about them. Yeah,
they are compact because like, hey, I'm starting to get a lot of stuff in this office, but one thing that is leaving, I guess I might either, if somebody wants it, I'll either mail it to them. And if nobody wants it, I'll just donate it to the Goodwill. But that weird hula hoop thing, the weird, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The smart hoop or whatever.
Yeah, I did not like that thing. Now, Robin apparently likes it. So, different strokes for different folks. I love my weighted hula hoop.
Me too. So I love my weighted hoop. Yep. The one you have to put around your waist, I feel like almost trapped in it because you have to work so hard to get the little links apart. And then you put it on, it's like, now can I get it off is the question, or am I stuck like this for the day?
There again, too much fiddling. Like I can just reach and grab that weighted hula hoop and just do it.
Yeah.
I can reach over, and now it's a lot less effort to do it, but I can, just grab the dumbbell.
Yeah.
So it's when it's something that I can just easily incorporate into my day and just, it just flows, then I'm just much more likely to do it. And that's how I've built habits. That's how I built my habit of meditation, of my morning walk, just fitting it into my day. And then now I can't imagine not doing those things. Matter of fact, if I don't do them, I feel very discombobulated.
Yeah, because they're a part of your routine. So I get that. I like how Johnny does it too. Oh, just when he stops his truck, just get out
Yeah.
and do it before you do anything else. I still like to do it that way sometimes too. Now I'm kind of doing the opposite. So, when you're doing like squats and you're going to do 3 sets of squats, 3 sets of lunges, 3 sets of deadlifts, it's like I'll do a rotation. So I'll do like the squats, then the lunges and the deadlifts, and then start again. But there's rest in between. And that's the part where I get like, I can't. It's like too much just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I don't know. So yeah, I'll go in the kitchen, like put a couple dishes in the dishwasher, and then go back. So it used to be I was like waiting for stuff in the kitchen, so I'd bust out some squats. And now I bust out my squats, I go in the kitchen, do a couple of things, go back and do my lunges. Because that's what gets me, is just standing there for that. I'm like you, Carrie. You talk about how you're like a hardworking kind of person. So yeah, just standing there even though I'll have music playing or a YouTube video playing or something while I'm doing it still, I just don't want to stand there for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, waiting for the rest period to be over. So it does help to go do something else and then come back and go on to the next set.
That's a good tip.
And for me, my schedule changes pretty much day to day. Sometimes I drive at night. Sometimes I drive early in the morning. Sometimes I drive middle of the afternoon. So when I worked at Lowe's, before I came back to driving a truck, I had a really pretty set schedule. So it was easy to get into a routine of doing walking and push-ups and all prior to going to work and then on my break at work. But now, because I didn't let that be an excuse, I could have said, well, I have this crazy schedule. There's no way I can do this. So I just had to find a way that worked for me to get movement in and build strength and build muscle and still do the job that I'm doing. And so my schedule, no matter what my schedule is, I can get that in. If I work at night, if I work in the day, middle of the day, it doesn't matter. I can still. And John was saying, John Collis, Carnivore Backwoods was saying last week, you're probably thinking about that. And he's right. When I think, I'm going to stop up here and get some fuel, or I'm going to stop and take my 30-minute break, or I'm almost there, I'm already in my mind thinking about where am I going to do the push-ups beside the truck, in front of the truck. So it's kind of built into my psyche. I mean, I'm thinking about it and then I do it. And then at the end of the day, I feel really good, because when I was in just outside of Chicago a week ago, when it was minus 30 and I didn't do anything, because I was not going to get out the side of the truck at minus 30.
Right.
And it was, so the actual temperature outside was minus 10. The temperature inside of my truck was 60. Well, that's 70 degrees warmer than outside, but it was still 60 degrees in here. I was freezing. And I was stuck there for 28 hours because they had a problem getting the load ready. I was supposed to be ready within 30 minutes. I was there 28 hours.
Wow.
So I didn't do anything. And I felt discombobulated is probably the best way to say that. Having gone 2 or 3 days with doing basically nothing, it felt weird. So I'm glad that the weather's changed. I'm able to get back out and do some stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you get used to doing something, and then when you don't do it, you feel that off. You just discombobulated. Something's just off, and it's really felt like going home to be able to get out and do some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys, we've been talking about this for an hour now.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know, it sure does. But yeah, I haven't really seen any questions. I hope some of you guys in the chat, you've been great in the chat. I just haven't seen any questions. So if you guys are going to join us, let us know. I think it's kind of a loose jump rope challenge, right? For the month of February, trying to incorporate a different form of exercise. And I think we're all three doing it kind of 3 different ways. Jump rope 3 ways. That's what we'll call the challenge.
Yeah, there we go. Or jump rope your way.
Yeah, jump rope your way. Absolutely. There you go. That's even better. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking in. I'll incorporate some of this jump rope stuff, into because I'm vlogging this whole journey that I'm on right now. Vlogging is not my forte, but I'm giving it a go. And so yeah, I'll incorporate, some of this jump rope. I know Johnny will be posting videos of himself jump roping. And if I know Carrie, she'll probably put some shorts up showing her jump roping. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, cool. So stay tuned for that, you guys, and we'll let you know maybe how it's affecting us, how we're enjoying it, and maybe how this evolves over, over the month of February.
Yeah, this will be fun. This will be great.
Yeah,
I like to jump rope, so this is not going to be a chore for me. It's something I know I'll do.
It's kind of fun, and it's kind of good for me to get back to this type of challenge. I didn't. I bet he lost his internet. He got real glitchy there for a minute. But bye, Johnny. But anyway, here he comes back. There he is.
Long time no see.
Lost his internet.
Black helicopters overhead, I guess.
Oh. Well, anyway, I was just saying, we'll see how this evolves as we go. And I'm excited to be doing this kind of challenge again, where it's like I pick a thing and like do that for 30 days and kind of see where it goes. I do enjoy that kind of binge challenge. And I've been missing that. So thanks you guys for agreeing to do this with me.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great to have a new activity to do. And of course, be able to chat with you guys about it too. So that's and anybody else who's doing it. So
yeah, let us know in the comments if anyone, joins in on this or send us a message. Let us know. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And I guess we will see you on another live stream. Oh,
no, real quick. Let me say one thing real quick. I just want to encourage probably a lot of the audience watching or that will see this in replay are YouTube content creators as well, like we are. Post video of you doing it. Don't just do it and tell us you did it. Post some video. And that'll help maybe motivate some of your subscribers to get out there. If they see us doing it. So just do some videos of whatever you do with the jump rope or whatever challenge you do. Post videos of doing it. Don't just talk about doing it. Let us see you do it because that's motivating for me. And I'm sure it is for others.
All right. I'll include myself jump roping in my vlog. How's that?
I will too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.